Hang on. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Wednesday night webinar. And I'm super excited that you guys are here. We have people joining from all over. Victoria, you're fast. She came right on. She's like, yeah, I'm here. She says, hi, Patricia. Thanks for everything you do, Ellen. So put your names in the chat box. So like already we can see who's here. We're already getting connected. And Vancouver, you're going to start to see there's people from all over the world. And it's exciting because these monthly webinars, we're talking about a different area of life every month. And so we have more opportunity to kind of look at interesting ways to improve ourselves and improve our lives. Diane Morales, Heather from Ontario, nice. Regina from Connecticut, Rob from Philly. Awesome. Erin's here. Liz Bend is here. As you come on, can you just put like a 1 in the chat box that says maybe it's your first time with us, maybe it's your first time with me. If you know Prima, maybe put, I know Prima. Just so I want to get an idea of how many people actually know who I am, don't know who I am, know about Sati Life, or if this is your first time. So if this is your first time ever hearing, being on one of my live webinars or classes or anything, please put a 1. Please put a 1 in. Let's see if we have any newbies in the house. Well, we're going to get right into it because we have so much, and all I've been thinking about all day is like, oh my God, we have so much exciting stuff. I could keep you guys on the call tonight for like 3 hours, but I promise we'll do our best to keep it to an hour. But before we get going, I'm going to ask you to do this. Turn off your phone. Turn down the lights. Light a candle. Get ready for something really exciting to happen tonight. And make this a sacred moment. Like, don't browse the internet. Don't do other things. Let this be truly a practice for you of active listening and listening with your body and listening with your heart, because we're talking about spirituality. That's not something that comes from the heart. It's from the head. It's a connection from the heart. So I really, 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 really recommend that you take a second right now, clear your space, make it a sacred moment, and we can get started. So a few 1s in the chat box. Nice, nice, nice. Great. So I'll give you a little bit of background about me, not much because I'm sure most of you know who I am, but I am Patricia Moreno. I consider myself a fitness and mindset coach, and I help people not just achieve their goals, but how to create the mindset, how to create the consciousness that they can actually birth the transformation or the success that they want, becoming the people that they want to be. And I've created the Intensati method, which is actually a workout that is a mental and physical and spiritual workout that we learn to really not practice trying to deprive ourselves or force ourselves, but empowering ourselves and becoming the person we want to be, not just achieving the things, but becoming the person we want to be. And that's been my life's mission, and I love this conversation, and I love this work, and I'm super excited to introduce you to Primavera Salva, who is not only just a beautiful friend of mine, recent friend of mine, but our families are madly in love with each other. She has a little girl, and we get together often, and we became instant friends. I met her when I was started studying with Dr. Levry. She's been teaching with Dr. Levry. We'll ask her as soon as she pops on it, but I'm guessing like 20 years. Like, been with Dr. Levry for a long time, and Dr. Levry's my teacher and my mentor, and his teachings have radically and dramatically improved my life, and they've been infused in everything that I do. And so tonight, it's an honor and it's a privilege to have Primavera here, because she is going to bring that divine spiritual wisdom to us, and it's really directly from Dr. Levry himself. And she's a masterful teacher. She runs the Nam Yoga trainings, and you'll see. I want you to feel her heart and her soul, and listen from your heart, because tonight's really going to be a powerful night. So Prima, I love you. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And just go ahead and, tune us in. Say hi a little bit. Welcome. And
thank you. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Patricia, for inviting me. to join your community. I'm so excited to see in the chat that some friends from Mexico are online, so that's super exciting. Thank you for being here. Hello. So you mentioned spirituality, and when Patricia asked me to join, I was so excited just because in my experience, I've seen that it doesn't matter how much you have around, how much happiness you think you can achieve. If your soul is sad, if your soul is crushed inside of you, it's very difficult to actually feel good, right? To feel fulfilled in life. So spirituality has been something very, very important to me for many, many years. I feel like, as far as I can remember, I was always in a quest. And yes, one day, by the grace of God, somebody gave me a little number and said, you must call this teacher. And this teacher that I was calling was Dr. Levry. This was in 1993, and ever since he became my teacher, he's amazing. And to start, I want to just tell you a little bit about a meditation that actually we're going to do together. So everyone, just sit in an easy pose if you can. If you're sitting in your couch, it's okay. But I want you to have your back very straight. If you feel comfortable, you can do Jian Mudra. This is a mudra when we connect our ego with the divine. You don't have to, but if you feel comfortable, just place that on your knees and close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Hold your breath and exhale. And you're going to imagine a beautiful sun in front of you, shining, beautiful, full of light and warmth. And we're going to work in 3 parts of your body: your heart, your throat, your third eye, and also your crown. So you're going to inhale through your heart, bringing light of the sun into your heart. See every sunshine, every beam of light coming into your heart and leaving your heart full of light. Every single cell of your heart is full of light. And this light is purifying your feelings and your emotions. And exhale. And continue to see the light of the sun in front of you. And take another deep inhale through your throat this time, and see the sunlight lighting your entire throat, your 5th chakra, so that all your words may be used to uplift others. And exhale. And you're going to inhale again. Inhale deep, and this time you're going to bring the light of the sun into your third eye, a point right in between your eyebrows. Hold your breath and see the sunlight purifying all your thoughts so that we can be positive in the way we think, visualize, and project our life. And exhale. And take a last deep inhale through your crown. Hold your breath. And as you exhale, see the light showering your entire body, coming out of your crown like a fountain. And just see your entire body, every single cell of your body full of light, shining like a little sun inside of you, every cell. Beautiful. Very slowly, just open your eyes and smile. Dr. Levry always tells us smiling is the easiest and fastest way to make your life beautiful. So everyone just smile right now. So this was a very short express meditation we did. It was just a chakra meditation so that we can focus on our heart, our throat, and our eyes, our thoughts in the third eye. And talking about spirituality, what is spirituality? Spirituality is a belief system that allows to connect to something bigger and larger than us. It really takes us out of our body. It takes us out of our little mind, our little thoughts, what is important, what is not for us. It gives us a purpose in life, to think bigger and larger, that we're here to serve the universe, that we're part of this master ceremony that is happening in the cosmos. It's not just me, what I want to eat today and what I want to wear today, and all these little thoughts that get in our ways every day, but it's about this huge universe and how we play a role in this universe. The universe is put together by love, and our job is to vibrate love. And this is how we're able to serve and become spiritual. So when we're spiritual, we go beyond our physical and material world. And we all know that we are a mind, body, and a spirit, right? And how much energy do we spend every day in our body? How we want to eat healthy, we want to take care of ourselves, we clean ourselves, we exercise, we eat well, and everything. So we take care of our body in that way. And then how many years of our life do we spend at school, right? Just learning, exercising our mind, making our mind creative, etc. And now let's think, how much time of our life do we spend it connecting to our spirit? Just think. It's probably not as much as the other. And this is when we start feeling that we're missing something in life, and we don't know what it is. So sometimes we start going, and maybe I eat a little bit more, maybe I shop a little bit more, maybe I do a little bit more, and we still don't find fulfillment. We still don't feel satisfied with our life. There's something missing. And that is spirituality. It's our connection to something bigger. You can call it God, you can call it the cosmos, the universe, something greater than us. So having a spirituality, what it helps us is to have a system of values that help us to respond to the world a certain way. We come to this lifetime carrying karma from last lives, from past lives. Every day we accumulate karma, good karma or bad karma. And karma is nothing but the law of cause and effect, right? If I don't go to the gym today, that's the cause. What's going to happen? My body's not going to be in shape. If I study a lot for a test, most likely I'm going to have good karma and I'm going to get a good test. So it's up to us how we live our lives. One of the difference between animals and humans is that humans are given the gift of free will. But we need to learn to use it. We need to honor that. So our job as human beings is to be able to think right, speak right, feel right, act right, and behave right. And when I say right, I'm not speaking about a judgment about what is right and wrong. But let's just think about polarities, right? About emotions. If I think about happiness, joy, enthusiasm, love, harmony, those are positive emotions, right? Those are positive vibrations, high vibrations. If I think about sadness, envy, anger, etc., etc., I don't even want to mention more of those. If I think about those, my energy is going to come down. So my job in life is to use the free will that God gave me, that the universe gave me, in a positive way, by trying always to go to those positive vibrations, that positive energy, so that I can remember these 5 steps: think right, speak right, feel right, act right, and behave right. Because this is what is going to help me to create good karma and actually clean some of the bad karma that I may bring in from past lives. But all of this sounds very easy, right? But it's not. Sadly, it's not. So what do we need to do first is to constantly bring awareness into our life. How am I responding in every situation? How am I speaking to my friends? How am I speaking to my coworkers? When I'm in certain situations, what are the first thoughts that come to me? Do I gravitate to the negative thoughts, to self-doubt? Do I gravitate to, look, they're doing this for me, this is amazing, this is so wonderful? Or do I think, oh, they're doing this again, they don't like me, they don't want me here? What are the thoughts that come to my mind? At the end, it's my choice how I think, because what I think is going to inform how I speak, and how I speak is going to inform how I feel, and how I feel is going to inform how I act and how I behave in life. And all of those together becomes who I am in life, right? And who am I in life is the way I'm going to create my life. What kind of family I'm going to create, what kind of friends I'm going to have around, what kind of job, what do I do in my free time. And this is my life every day. So it's really up to us what we do with our life. But it's very, very hard to be present. Being present every moment is what brings us awareness, self-awareness. And self-awareness will take us to self-realization. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, thank you. So there is a very simple system that I want to share with you guys tonight. And this is a system that we teach in the Nam Yoga training. I've been blessed to be part of the Nam Yoga teachers training for the past 10 years. And I've been seeing really people changing their lives from the inside out. The only way you can change your life outside is if you change yourself. Because your life is nothing but a manifestation of who you are inside. So if you want to change something outside, you must change inside first. So we're going to start with something really fun that I know everyone would love. And this is a way that Dr. Levy taught us how to get to know yourself first. Right? Not because we have lived with us all our lives, that means that we know ourselves. It's very easy to get to know everyone, right? We're very good at saying, oh, don't do that again. You know, when you do that, you always get into the same trouble. Oh, when you date that kind of guy, you always end up the same way. Well, if you eat like that, how you always do the same. But we cannot see ourselves. We cannot see our defects. We cannot see our shortcomings and our faults. So we need to find a system that can help us to understand ourselves. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. I know Patricia asked you to turn off your phones, but I'm going to ask you to look at the phones and Google the day of the week you were born. Or you were born on Sunday, on a Monday. You can start putting in the chat. Which day of the week were you born?
I was born on a Friday.
On a Friday, of course. And you guys will know why I'm saying that right now. I was born on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if we're ready to start. For every day of the week carries a vibration. And that has to do with a planet. So those that you speak Spanish or Italian, it comes actually very easy, the translation. I see a lot of people on Wednesdays, on Sundays. So Erin, don't give me a date. Give me the day of the week you were born. Google it. I see Rob on Friday, Evelyn on Tuesday. This is great. We have a lot of different days. So according to the day of the week you're born, you receive, all of us receives a package of gifts. These are our tools that we're going to go through life and we're going to have fun in life with. But we're also given challenges, right? Because we come to this lifetime to evolve, to become better persons, better human beings. So these challenges that we have to solve is what is going to help our soul to evolve. So if you're born on a Sunday, and we can see a slide right now so that you can learn which one is the planet that rules you. Liv, can you put the slide on the screen? So if you're born on a Sunday, you are ruled by the sun. If you are born on a Monday, you're ruled by the moon. If you are born on a Tuesday, you're ruled by Mars. On Wednesday, Mercury. On Thursday, Jupiter. On Friday, Venus. And Saturday, Saturn. So just take a quick look, write down which planet belongs to you, and it'll be very easy. I'm going to go a little bit quick now and give you a couple of ideas of what are your gifts and what are your challenges. So most likely when we are vibrating in those positive feelings that I shared with you, like happiness, joy, when we choose to vibrate in that level, guess what? We're going to be living our life through our gifts. When we fall into the negative vibrations, low vibration emotions, we start living our life through our challenges. So every day when you wake up, make it a point that you think, today I'm going to think positive. Because when I think positive, remember, we go, what I think informs what I speak. What I speak informs what I feel, and what I feel informs how I act and how I behave. So we're going to focus now. People born on Sunday. People born on Sunday are like the sun. They're full of light. They have energy. They enter the room and everyone looks at them. And they're warm people. They're very creative. But when they're in the negative state, in the challenging part, guess what? They become self-centered, sometimes selfish. They want all the attention to them, even if they cannot get it, they work hard to get it. So that's for the sun. People born on Monday, the moon, they have amazing intuition. They're very loyal people, and they have the characteristics of a mother. As a mother, they are very nurturing and loving. People born on Tuesday, and on Monday, the negative side of the moon, they fluctuate. Their moods fluctuate like the moon. Full moon, new moon. So they're up and down, up and down. And what is important for them to know is that when they're feeling down, they should know that it's going to pass. It's not going to last. So be detached from those feelings. So let's move a little bit faster to Mars. People born on Mars, they're very charismatic. They have a lot of energy. They hardly need to sleep. They can carry any project forward, and with lots of success, they're leaders in what they do. But when they're in their challenging side, guess what? They become very explosive. They're impulsive. They don't think about things, they just do them, and sometimes it's not the best thing. And anger could be part of their characteristics, their challenges. Next one, Mercury. People born on Wednesdays. They have great skills for communication. So they can be teachers, they can be in media, they can be in technology. They're very systematic and very, very intelligent. But when they're in their challenges, that same skills of communication can become a chatty box that nobody can stand them anymore. They can become the gossipers of the group. And gossip is not good. You don't need that. So we have to stay in the positive all the time. Knowing where you can go up and down, it helps you to make choices. So let's move to Thursdays. Thursdays is Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, prosperity, good fortune. And when they are not in the positive, what happens, they become very bossy. This is Jupiter finger. So they become really bossy. They tell everyone what to do. And sometimes that is not very nice, right? So also that capacity of expansion and prosperity that they have, if they're not applying it for a positive cause, a positive reason, they tend to apply it for their body, and they can just have eating problems and overeat. They also start collecting things. They become collectors, but things that don't have value, and they get too attached to them. And attachment at that level is not healthy. Let's move to Venus. Patricia, people in Venus, they're beautiful people. And even if they're not beautiful, they make themselves attractive because in their hands they have the capacity to create beauty, to create art. So they always live in beautiful homes. And by that I don't mean rich and wealthy necessarily, but just beautiful. They make them beautiful. So if you have a baby who is a Venus, you better have a pretty bedroom for them. When they're not in their good place, Venus can become lustful. L-U-S-T-F-U-L, lustful. And they can also become vain, and they can become full of envy as well. So you start seeing how it's not the best thing to choose to go in the negative, right? So the very last one, Saturn. Saturns are here in this lifetime to become masters, people born on Saturday. They're very efficient. They're systematic. They create structures in life. They create systems so that we all can follow step 1, step 2, step 3, until they get to the top to become masters. But when they're not in the positive side, they can't finish anything. They start creating things and they never finish them. So they never achieve success. They can also become very depressed, and they can also become like a hermit. So this is just a little system from Nam Yoga for you to get to know yourself better. And now that you have these tips, you can also look at your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, the people that you work with, so that you can understand, if I'm working with somebody who's a Mars, if I see them there in a bad mood, the last thing I'm going to do is go and talk to them in a negative way, because they're going to explode like a volcano. So I'm going to let them calm down, be creative with them until they feel better, and then we can work together. If I work with somebody who is born on a Monday, who has Moon as their planet, what I do is, if I see them sad, I try to help them out. I take them out of that sadness, because it's really something that is going to pass. Also, if I have a friend who was born on a Monday, and she tells me, you know what, I have an intuition, you better listen to that, because people with a moon planet, they have a very, very strong intuition. And so on and so forth. So I'm open for questions. Patricia, if you have any questions.
What day are you?
Say it again.
What day are you born?
I'm born on a Tuesday. I'm a Mars.
Oh my gosh, I knew it.
I gave my mom a very hard time when I was little. I remember throwing fits all the time when I was little.
And what's the
control that volcano and learn how to use that energy to build and be creative. And I love my Mars now.
Of course. What's the day of the week that when you're born on this day you love food?
Jupiter.
Thursday, because it was so funny when we first started learning this information. It's when you first start like learning this stuff, and you're like want to know every day that somebody's born. And you and I were hanging out one day, we were talking about all of these qualities, and I was telling you, we were talking about Olivia.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how much she loves to eat. Like, she loves to eat. And you're like, what day of the week? Was she born on a Thursday? I'm like, yes.
Totally.
They're so different, and it's interesting because these are the kind of qualities that when we look and we read this and we tune into it, it's so powerful, because what I've learned and what you're talking about here right now that I think is really important is that we start to understand that there's more than meets the eye. And when we tune into that and we tune into that we're not just physical beings and we have these tendencies and we have these ways that we tendencies to be certain ways. For me, it's been like I can be less hard on myself and instead just more open to being aware of what are the negative qualities that I express, that is my tendency to express, that I can now just be more mindful of and tone down.
Totally. And the gift is, now that we know what are my positive, what are my negatives, it's a little bit like a compass that we can have in life, right? And choose to apply your free will in a positive way and decide, and this is how I learned to tame my Mars, for example. Whenever I will feel it right here, like, "Grr," I'm getting angry about something, I will use like my breathing work and I will take a walk, breathe a little bit, try to think in a different way, try to understand the other person, try to be compassionate, rather than just explode at the person and tell them like, get out of here. Because then you break relationships. You can destroy anything. You can destroy a project or anything. So it's about choosing to act from your higher self.
Yes.
Yeah, we're so fortunate that we have that choice. We're not stuck to act from our negative, low vibration frequencies. We can choose the other two.
And I think that what Tom is saying, none of his planets match his personality. So Tom, what was the day? Put that in the chat, but I also want to touch and kind of pause here for a second, because exactly what you're talking about is one of my first practices, right? So what we want to leave you guys here tonight with is 6 takeaways. I'm going to give you 3 and Prima's going to give you 3, and our intention is 9:33. Our intention is that we're not just filling your head with more information. You can find information everywhere. Who cares? It's a dime a dozen. My intention, my mission is to help people get this information into a practice, into their lives. So that's what our goal is tonight. We're going to give you 6. So 1 has got to work for you. All you need is 1. Don't do all 6. You can do all 6 if you want to, but the goal is 1, and do it for 30 days. So here's my first tip, and it's really just kind of piggybacking on what Prima was saying and what we just covered. So you have the negative and the positive aspects of yourself. Now, the first thing of my tip or my action is going to be to go back and look at that information. Prima, where is that information? Which book of Dr. Levery's is that information?
We're going to send you tomorrow the link. The link is a book written by Dr. Levery called Lifting the Veil. And you can find it, if you get eager to find it tonight, you can go to rootlight.com.
Right. So
just look for the books there and you'll find Lifting the Veil. Oh,
okay, I'm going to show it.
Right there.
I'm going to show it. So you're going to get this information, right? So here's my first tips, lifting the veil. It's super, super great. If this information is like getting you excited, take the book. It's great to have, especially as a reference. So you're going to get the information. Here's my first tip. You write down what your positive and your negative aspects are. Have them on a piece of paper so you see them all the time. You want to be really conscious that these are your tendencies. And then look at the list and pick one quality, one aspect of the negative side that you embody a little too often. and right next to it, the times or the opportunities you have that you embody that. So if you're someone who is very fiery and you know that, I don't know, every time you get in traffic, by the time you're there, by the time you get to work, you know you just like, you lose it. Like you have your buttons. So you want to know what your buttons are, and then you want to say, okay, next time I'm in traffic, I know that negative tendency is about to come up, but you know what? Not today. I am going to make it from home to the front door of my office, and I shall remain calm. And so I'm going to use my breath exercise in that time where I know it's my hot button. I'll give you an example, a quick example of a way that I use this. So Callan puts the twins to sleep. I put Olivia to sleep. And we've gotten in this routine. It's super simple. I recently shared this somewhere, but I'm going to share it again because it's a good example. So Callan puts the twins. I put Olivia. And we got it smooth sailing. Everybody likes it that way. Well, I was about to do a webinar last week or something, and so I said, I'll put the twins because they go to bed earlier and I need to be done earlier. I want to do my hair. I want to put my makeup on. I want to get ready for the webinar. Well, it didn't go so well because it wasn't their normal routine, and I'm in the room and I'm like rushed, and I want to push them to like hurry up and go to sleep, which doesn't work, obviously. So I kind of lose it. And then I come out and I think about it and I think that's just not who I want to be. I want to be able to put my children down without losing it. This is going to be my practice. So then I said to Callan, let's switch. Give me the twins so that I can work on knowing this is my hot button, but I'm going in consciously. And I'm going to do the work I need to do so that this doesn't have to be a hot button for me, and I have the freedom to choose to put my twins down as much as I do Olivia down, instead of just running away from the places that really push your buttons. Like you go in as a training ground. I'm putting the twins to bed and I'm not gonna lose it. And so it's a good thing to see those two qualities and then make those kinds of decisions where I know I'm going to lose it when I usually go home at this time, and I'm not losing it today. Can I get through the whole night and I'm not losing it? So that kind of a practice that's clear and concise, and you know exactly what your key points are. So that's my first tip. Anything to add to that, or you want to just go to your...
I wanted to say somebody wrote on the chat, oh, Monday, I'm not sure I identify with that.
Yes.
Monday, one of the characteristics of people that have the moon as ruling is self-doubt. So even when I read that, oh, I'm not sure that sounds like me. The self-doubt is presented right there.
That's funny.
So just want to say to everyone, this is a very extensive topic. There are pages and pages of this information that you will find in Lifting the Veil. Also, when we do teachers training, even if you never think you want to teach, the Nam Yoga teachers training is really a course of self-transformation. Throughout 7 months, you become a different person. And I see it year after year, training teachers. It's a joy to see people change their lives. So we spend a lot of times, imagine an entire weekend analyzing the planets and how they affect you and all the nuances and details about it. So just, to tell everyone to be kind, we're saying it in like 5 minutes. So if you really love this, feel free to email me. I can have a session with you. Get the book, come to Nam Yoga. You'll learn a lot more about this. It's very extensive. That's just...
Can I say one more thing about that? Can I say one more really interesting thing about the planets? And it's really a good idea. She said have a session with her. I've had these sessions, and I actually took my sisters to a session once. Everybody was like upset, and one of my sisters just like upset. And someone was there. We were in Cabos at the retreat, and somebody pulled us aside and said, let me do your planets because let's see what's going on. And one of the things that she was being upset about was she always has this like resentment with her relationship with our mother, and it was like she's a grown adult and it's still carrying. And so when Karen Abrams sat her down to do her planets, like the first thing she said is like, do you have problems with one or both of your parents? And we all just went, like, she's living her whole life with this drama, but then just to have, like I said, the veil lifted, that it's not her, it wasn't a personal thing, right? It's like we can almost lighten up about a situation when we see that it's like in the planets, it's there, the information's there about the troubles that we might be seeing. There must be some purpose to that, right? There must be some purpose to that, because if life is for us, then all this ability to evolve these qualities and having this information, it gives us that ability to say, okay, this is going to be a challenge that I'm likely to face in my life. I'm going to make myself stronger in this area so that I can not have to feel so victimized by it.
Stuck in life, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the gift of gaining self-awareness to a system like this is exactly that, our capacity to evolve in life. We're giving these tools so that we can help our soul to evolve, right? If we didn't have to evolve anymore, we wouldn't even be in this lifetime. But we all have to reincarnate and come back. And maybe in this lifetime, I learned how to be patient. So I'm giving you right now a map to say this is what you have to learn. How amazing is that? That you can go through life saying, okay, if I just learn to be patient rather than be impatient all my life and come back the next lifetime to learn the same again, I'll just learn to be patient. And because what happens is that because you're coming to learn something simple, like let's be patient. This is what you're coming to learn. That opportunity to learn that is going to be presented to you again and again and again until you learn it.
right.
So if you're impatient, you're going to be probably the youngest of your family, where you get the last plate of the food. Um, you're going to be always the last one, the shorter in the line at school. You're always going to get late to the bank, and you're going to be at the end of the line. Always you're going to end up in that location until you learn to be patient. And then guess what? It doesn't bother you anymore. And it's okay, right? You learn that maybe during the time that you wait, you actually plan things better, you get creative, or whatever it is. But it's about learning the lesson so it doesn't bother you anymore. And when things stop bothering you, then you just learn to be happy. So this is one of my tips for you that I want to share, like Patricia was sharing one. One of my tips is to just learn to use your free will in a positive way. Choose to be positive. Get to know yourself first. Gain self-awareness. Be present to yourself. Show up to yourself, right? Be responsible for how you react to the world, because that's what you're going to get back. So use your free will in a positive way every day. Of course, you need to be awake to be able to realize even when you're not using it in a positive way.
Right.
But once you bring that thought to your mind, the mind is amazing. And you'll be in situations where you're like, uh-oh, I just reacted in a wrong way. Great. This is a beginning. This is how we start.
Yeah, that's perfect. Goes right to the next one. So let's see. She said, be conscious, right? Be conscious. Don't react. Like, decide. Use your free will to decide. And the access to being able to doing that is really being conscious. So how can we get ourselves to be more conscious, to actually not react and have to like go back and apologize or go back and fix things? Like, we want to do that less. We want to have fewer regrets, right? We're going to have fewer regrets. So the only way we can have fewer regrets is by being able to, when the impulse of the negativity comes up, when the impulse to say something negative, when the impulse to be mean or envious, it comes up, that you don't vocalize it, right? That's like the first step. And that's what Sati is for me. Sati is, it's not what it is for me, but Sati is the Sanskrit word for mindfulness. And mindfulness, the best definition that I've heard is awareness without judgment. Sati is awareness without judgment. So you have a stimulus and you have a response. But in the middle is Sati, it's choice. You become the observer, but without labeling. This is good, this is bad. You just go, I feel the negative energy. Oh, I just felt like you're present with your feelings. You're not just like feeling cranky and then going and kicking the dog, right? Like you're just like a robot. You go, oh, wow, I feel sad. I just felt sadness, or I felt nerves, or, you start to tune in more, and then you make a conscious decision. And that's Sati, that's that pause. It's the pause between stimulus and response. But in order to have this muscle working, I was sharing today with someone, you have the muscle, but having muscle doesn't make you an athlete. Just because you have muscle doesn't mean you're an athlete. You have to train that muscle. And so becoming mindful and present, it's a practice. It's a skill. You want to become skillful at being present in your life. And in order to do that, you have to have a practice. You have to have a training. There needs to be something. You need to invest yourself on a regular basis that you are building that muscle. You might say, I want to go lose weight and run 5 miles. You don't just go outside and run 5 miles when you've never run. You have to have that first practice of being consistent at walking around the block. So what I'm going to give you as my second tip is how to make your day your spiritual practice. I call it how to make the mundane spiritual. And these are, for me, just moments where they become my habitual pauses, my habitual pausing moments. And now for me, they're ingrained in my life. And so it's like my whole day is reminders to tune back in. And I'll share with you a couple of mine. So I know I've shared this before, but it's so good that I want you to do it. It's really so good. It's so simple, and it sounds so simple, but we want it simple. We want it simple. If it's a big effort, you're not going to do it. If you haven't done it by now, there's probably a resistance to it. So I want to make it super simple. So I have my points in my day. First one is I open my eyes. I never now, this is out of habit, I never move out of bed before doing a prayer. Today, may I be a messenger of love and light. And then I do the prayer from A Course in Miracles. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say, and to whom? Use me. That's it. It's a pause. It's a prayer. It's a moment of like tuning in. I'm just going to tune into you. So you guide me today. You guide me. There's a conscious contact with the higher self. There's a conscious, like, good morning, higher self. Join me through my day today. Then I brush my teeth, and every time I brush my teeth, it's the same mantra. May I speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And may every word I speak bring love and light to everyone I meet. And I do it, and it's just a moment. I'm brushing my teeth. How boring is brushing your teeth? Brushing your teeth can become the highlight of your day. And then I always, in my first travel into the city, always, there's a prayer before I get on my bike. I do triple mantra, which is the prayer of protection. And in my journey, I always pray on the way in. I do mantras all the time. So it's getting my vibration up. I'm going to do something. I prepare myself for it. And always when I go to sleep, the last thing before I go to sleep is a pause and a gratitude prayer. Love, peace, and light is what we do in our home. And I always do love, peace, and light for myself and for my family. And that's it. And they take 30 seconds. And you have 4 points. So you find 4 points and you create 4 simple practices that you do, always at a light, always at an elevator. The things that you do, they can become your opportunities to tune back in so that you're not just focused on the physical. Okay, that's it. That's my number 2.
Good. I have my number 2. And my number 2 goes very close to what Patricia was saying. And that is for you to take your spiritual life seriously. And what does that mean? What do I mean by that? To take your spiritual life seriously is to, the same way you wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you eat breakfast or drink your coffee, you meditate, for example. You can speak any mantra. Patricia just mentioned triple mantra. Every morning before you leave your home, 11 minutes of triple mantra will put your day into order. Will just align things, put you in the right place at the right time, remove you from the wrong place at the wrong time. Take your spiritual life seriously. Learn. Find a community. Surround yourself with friends. Every day, every moment, every thought is an opportunity to really bring that positive connection to the higher self. Remember the 5 steps. Think right, speak right, feel right, act right, and behave right. And I have my very last one that I want to share. Do Nam. Nam is amazing. It changed my life. It has changed many lives, and it's really a gift. If you're curious, we have yoga studios all over New York. I'm sorry, all over the country. In New York, we have 1 studio. We have in LA, and what else? Miami, Phoenix, Mexico City, Brazil, all over the world. And I want to invite you, since we're here, tomorrow is Dr. Levy's birthday. So we always do something special for him. And tomorrow, 2 of my friends and colleagues, Ivan and Renata, are doing a live stream. And if you go to Facebook and you look for Root Light, you will find information for a live stream tomorrow to celebrate his birthday. And it will be amazing for all of us to join, to come together and wish him happy birthday.
I'm putting that in the rootlight.com.
Yes, rootlight.com, or in Facebook. Look for rootlight.com.
Oh, right, on Facebook, Rootlight.
Yes.
Am I muted?
No?
Okay, so I'm just part of what you said too, and I'm just going to highlight it, and we're going to piggyback again, because this is really also one of my tips, and it's so important. I can't even express how important it is. You need to be feeding your mind. Like, there needs to be a training you go into, a community you meet with regularly, books that you read, that you study. There's so many great online courses too at NAM, which I've done many online, but keep feeding yourself. And then here's the second part to that. Once you feed yourself the information, in order for it to become wisdom for you, information is philosophy. It's just information. It doesn't become wisdom until it comes through you and you embody it. But the fastest way to embody it and make that information become wisdom is teaching. When you learn something, even like tonight, I'm going to offer you this opportunity. Write something down that you learned tonight and you tell somebody about it. Explain it. Regurgitate it. Because when you have to say it and speak it, you learn it on another level. That's why going through a training like NAM, even if you're not going to be a teacher, is fantastic. Going through a training, anything that you're going to immerse yourself in, stop window shopping with, and actually like commit. Because what happens is things get a little rough or a little uncomfortable. You're like, let me try something else. Let me try something else. And I think Dr. Levy says this, right? You become a window shopper. Like, invest, go in. Make time. It's important. That was my 3rd. So we did all ours. We did all of ours.
Yes, we did all of them, and I was so worried that we were not going to have enough.
I was worried too. I was worried we weren't going to have the time. But now I really want to go. Let's go through and talk about things that are coming up. So obviously we have ways that you guys can participate with us. And Prima just talked about leader training, but talk about when it is. And I think you're offering a discount tonight, right?
Yes. So in New York, we started teachers training this past weekend, but people still can join. It's 7 weekends from now until October. So it's really 1 weekend a month. And
New York City.
in New York City. It's in New York City. And like I said, people come and they say, oh, I never want to teach. I'm not interested. That's totally fine. It's about what happens inside of you. And most of the time, what ends up happening is that people learn so much, change so much. They're so eager to go and like teach it to their families, to their friends, and people like around them. They're always like, "Hey, what is happening to you?" It's just amazing, the shift. It's an opportunity to live in this time. We're so fortunate that so much information is available to us, and Dr. Levy has put it to us in like a simple system that we can understand it. He has, I always say, like he has digested all the information to us and like feeding us in ways that are simple so that we can actually live by them. It is just practical wisdom that we can apply every day in our lives. We don't have to move to a monastery and stay there and don't be in contact with anybody. The real stuff happens here, right? Every day. When you have to run and catch the train, when you have to be in a car in the train with 50 people, they're not, sometimes not very nice. And what happens when you actually apply that wisdom? I always say, just get in the subway, smile to everyone, and see what happens. Put out love. Put out love. I just did my 40-day cleanse. I'm on my actually day 36 of a cleanse, and I call it the Choose Love Cleanse. So every time that I react, that people ask me something, and even if I'm not that excited about it, I always think, okay, if I was feeling love in my heart right now, how would I react? What would I say? How can I say that I don't agree with what they're saying, but with love? And I know it sounds silly, and I feel
No,
like
it's not.
it's very difficult, very, very difficult. And it gets more and more difficult with the people that are closer to you, actually. Why? Because they know you better, right? And you feel like, oh, I can get away with a little bit more. Like you were saying with the kids, putting them to sleep. Like, stop it and go to sleep, right? But you wouldn't do that to a kid from a stranger because you want to take care of them. You don't want to scare them. So
you want to be embarrassed.
So that too, right? So people that know you and you're close to them is actually the hardest part. And why? Because they're our masters. We're here to learn from our husband, our wife, our mother, father. What you were saying about your sister, she still hasn't got that lesson. There's something so amazing, so rich that is going to happen in her life when she shifts that. And it's up to us.
Yes, it is up to us, and it's really like that's the beauty, and that's really the point of tonight's call or webinar, is to just pause for a moment and reflect. Just to reflect is so important, and be like, if your life is going in this direction, unless you do something different, it's going to keep going in that same direction. And one small change, it's small, over time you're in a completely new destiny. So this is really that opportunity to say, just look, do I want to keep going in the direction that I'm going? And if you do, that's fantastic, fantastic. But if you're not, don't think we all think we're going to be alive tomorrow, and I know this sounds depressing, but not one of us knows for sure. Not one of us knows for sure. Today matters. How you're being today matters. We all have like this list of things we want to achieve and we want to get, and we write our goals, and we go to seminars about how to make the steps to make more money and to start that business and to whatever it is, find the love of your life. But if we're not investing on who we're being, if we're not cultivating more integrity, more joy, more gratitude, more appreciation, then what's the point even in getting all of those things, because you're still the same person. So one small shift will have a massive, massive impact in your life, and the things you do on a daily basis are the things that truly, truly matter. The way you are with your family, that truly, truly matters. And yeah, and so for tonight, from my end, I have two gifts for you. One is the willpower workout. So willpower, there's the wrong use and the right use of willpower. The wrong use of willpower is trying to force yourself to do something so that you become happy. The right use of willpower is to focus on becoming happy so that the actions are not forced, so that they are in alignment with who you're being. And this willpower workout is the Intensati method, and it's about you cultivating that mindset of living a life that you want to thrive, that you can thrive and not survive. So you're going to get the link to that tomorrow. And I also have a retreat coming up, and we're going to Maya Tulum, Mexico. And it is April 24th through 30th. And it's going to be just immersion in this. We're going to create practices for you to have and to develop for yourself to bring home. We're going to wake up and meditate in the mornings. We're going to do Intensati workouts. We're going to do Yoga Sati workouts. We're going to have a lot of time to play and to learn and to immerse ourselves in this conversation even more deeply. So it's called the Love in Action Retreat, and there's still, I don't know, 9 spots left. So check that out. We're going to send you the link to that as well. Anything else, Prima?
No, I think I'm good. I asked Liv to send everyone my email if they have questions. I'm in New York. You can email me anytime. I teach in Nam Yoga New York in the Upper West Side. What else? We have the teachers training tomorrow.
Yeah, we should put the link to Nam Yoga there too.
Yes, yes. And we're giving a discount. If anybody from this webinar who listened to the webinar and want to join the teachers training, we're giving $400 off from teachers training.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So go, and you guys will get all this in your emails tomorrow. And really, if any of this has been helpful to you, share it with your friends. Like, talk about it. Talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more you're going to absorb it. And we want this to matter, and we want this to make a difference. We don't want to just be information givers. Really, we want to help you embody and become the person that you really want to be. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Prima, thank you. I love you so much. This is so fun. We could talk forever and ever on this subject.
Forever, yes.
Like a never-ending, amazing thing to chat. But I think that's it for tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Patricia. I'm honored to be here and spend this time with all of you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We'll be in touch. Love you, Mama.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys, and thank you for joining. I hope you had a good time. If you did like it, put something in the chat box. Like, tell us what you got out of it, what you liked, anything. We want to hear anything that you are taking away from this. So, I don't know. We like to see. We like to see. And that you guys like something. It's fun to see.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. Have a beautiful night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Livy.
Thank you.